The silence of space was broken by an urgent blip on the bridge consoles of the Starship Horizon. Captain Aria Jensen leaned forward, eyes narrowing as the red warning light flashed incessantly. "Status report," she demanded, voice calm but commanding. The bridge crew scrambled, voices overlapping as they assessed the incoming data. "Captain, a human colony on Nova Prime has been completely wiped out. No survivors. The attacker's signature matches the Zarkin fleet," reported Lieutenant Harris, his face pale beneath the harsh glow of the monitors. Arya felt a chill, but she refused to let panic settle in. This wasn't just another skirmish, it was a brutal message. Earth had to respond. Aria's team wasn't your typical space fleet. They were the best of humanity's explorers and tacticians, a diverse group pulled together by necessity and the ever-looming threat of alien forces. With her was Commander Malik, the sharp-minded strategist known for unconventional tactics, and Dr. Elin, the ship's brilliant xenobiologist who always found a way to think outside the box. Together, they had faced strange phenomena and hostile encounters before, but this was different. The stakes were higher. A whole colony annihilated, a declaration of war delivered in the darkest way imaginable. Despite the grim news, Aria's dry wit surfaced. "Well, it looks like the Zarkins just don't appreciate our hospitality," she muttered, trying to lighten the mood. Malik chuckled, shaking his head, but Elin remained focused on the incoming transmission from Earth Command. The message was clear: humanity had to strike back. But how? The Zarkins were a mysterious species, their technology vastly superior and their motives unclear. The answer wasn't in brute force alone. The Horizon set course for the nearest known Zarkin outpost. As the engines hummed to life, the crew prepared for what might be their most dangerous mission yet. The ship's AI, an experimental system called Hermes, chimed in with a hint of sarcasm, warning, "Probability of survival without drastic measures, low." Arya smirked at the AI's dry humor. "Thanks for the pep talk, Hermes." In the quiet moments before entering hostile space, Arya reflected on the colony lost on Nova Prime. Families, scientists, children, gone in an instant. The memory fueled her resolve. "We can't let this stand. Earth won't sit idle while our people are slaughtered." Her words sparked a fire in her crew's eyes. They were ready to fight, but more than that, they were ready to survive and outthink an enemy who had just crossed a line. The first encounter came sooner than expected. A scout ship emerged from a nebula cloud, sleek and ominous. Malik's fingers danced over the controls as he initiated an evasive maneuver, the Horizon twisting through asteroid debris with precision. "They're testing us," he said grimly. "We can't afford to lose the element of surprise." Elin scanned the enemy vessel's energy signatures, noting an unusual frequency. "Their shields are different, adaptive and fast," she explained. "We'll need something unpredictable to break through." As the Horizon evaded and countered, Aria's mind raced. The traditional tactics wouldn't work here. She turned to her crew. "Ideas? We're not just fighting ships, we're fighting a system designed to outthink us." Malik suggested hacking into the enemy's communication network, a risky move that could expose their position but might yield critical intel. Elin proposed using experimental EMP pulses tuned to their shield frequency, a gamble that could disable the enemy long enough for a decisive strike. The tension on the bridge was palpable. Every decision carried the weight of not just the mission, but humanity's future. Aria's voice cut through the noise, steady and sure. "We take the risk. Malik, prep the hack. Elin, calibrate the EMP. Hermes, get ready to deploy." The ship surged forward, engines glowing with renewed purpose. The crew braced as they moved deeper into enemy territory. Outside the viewport, stars streaked past as the Horizon raced toward an uncertain fate. The memory of Nova Prime's devastation burned in their minds. For humanity, this wasn't just retaliation, it was survival. The galaxy had just become a battlefield, and the Horizon was leading the charge. As the first pulse of their plan unfolded, one thing was clear: they would not go quietly into the void. This was only the beginning. The Horizon's sensors hummed steadily, a faint pulse of hope against the dark silence of space. Captain Aria Jensen stood at the helm, her eyes locked on the flickering readings. The data from Malik's hack was trickling in, encrypted, layered, and guarded fiercely by Zarkan security protocols. "This isn't just an outpost," Malik said, voice low with urgency. "It's a command hub. Whatever their next move is, it's being planned here." The crew exchanged glances, each understood the stakes. They had to infiltrate deep and fast before the Zarkans could launch another devastating strike. The tension aboard the Horizon was electric, yet beneath it simmered a thread of humor that helped keep morale steady. "Hermes," the AI, quipped from the speakers, "Captain, I've calculated a 76.43% chance that you will find a way to break their system, or at least annoy them into submission." Aria rolled her eyes. "Just keep the sarcastic commentary to a minimum, Hermes. We need focus." But the light banter reminded them all that no matter how grim the situation, humanity's resilience thrived in humor as much as in bravery. As Malik plunged deeper into the digital defenses, the Zarkan fleet tightened its grip on the surrounding star systems. The enemy's surveillance drones multiplied like a swarm of metallic hornets, buzzing relentlessly. The Horizon had to move stealthily. Aria ordered a course through an asteroid belt, the ship weaving through jagged rocks with precision born of countless simulations. But even the asteroid field offered no true sanctuary. The drone's sensors pierced the darkness with uncanny accuracy. Then came an unexpected complication. Elan's scanner picked up a new anomaly, a strange, shimmering field near the core of the command hub system. "It's a quantum interference pattern," she explained. "Almost like a cloak, but far more advanced. They're hiding something important." Malik frowned. "Could be their ultimate weapon, or a failsafe that wipes out any attackers." The crew realized their mission had shifted from a reconnaissance strike to a high-stakes gamble: disable the hub without triggering whatever lay concealed. Drawing on their ingenuity, the team devised an unconventional plan. Instead of a direct assault, they would deploy nano-drones, microscopic machines capable of infiltrating the command hub systems undetected. Elan had spent years perfecting nanotechnology for medical purposes. Now, that knowledge became humanity's best chance. "We'll use the drones to create a backdoor," she said, eyes bright with determination. "It's risky, but it's the only way to bypass their quantum cloak." As preparations began, Aria gathered her team for a brief moment. "This is the kind of fight we didn't train for," she said. "Not just lasers and missiles, but science and creativity. We're going to break into their command center and send a message that humanity isn't helpless." Malik nodded, adding, "And if things go sideways, we adapt." "Always." The nano-drones were released with surgical precision, swarming toward the Zarkan command hub in a silent, invisible wave. For hours, the crew watched as the tiny machines navigated the labyrinth of defenses, avoiding digital traps and security protocols. Malik's fingers flew over the console, guiding the drones and countering attacks with rapid-fire coding. "They're more prepared than we thought," he muttered, wiping sweat from his brow. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. "They've detected the breach!" Elan shouted. "They're locking down the hub, triggering the quantum interference field." The command center began to flicker with strange lights as the cloaking technology intensified, threatening to sever the connection and trap the drones inside. The Horizon shuddered under a barrage of energy pulses from Zarkan warships rushing to defend their stronghold. Aria barked orders to the crew: defensive maneuvers. Divert all power to shields and countermeasures. The ship twisted and spun through the chaos, fighting for survival while the nano-drones raced against time. In a moment of clarity, Malik realized they could use the interference field against the Zarkans. "Elan, can we amplify the quantum fluctuations? Turn their cloak into a trap?" She nodded quickly, recalibrating the drone swarm to emit a controlled disruption. "If we overload the field, it might collapse their entire system." Aria's jaw tightened. "Do it. We don't have a choice." The nano-drones surged with new energy, flooding the quantum cloak with chaos. The command hub's defenses faltered, digital walls crumbling beneath the unexpected assault. For a brief instant, the entire system flickered, then exploded in a brilliant cascade of light. the interference field collapsed, exposing the Zarkin hub to the Horizon's weapons. Seizing the opportunity, Arya ordered a full strike. Pulses of plasma and ion beams tore through the enemy's defenses, disabling the hub's mainframe and cutting communications across the fleet. The Zarkins were thrown into disarray, their coordinated strike plans shattered. Yet even as the victory loomed, new problems emerged. The collapse of the command hub sent shockwaves across the star system, destabilizing nearby planets and risking collateral damage to innocent worlds. Arya faced a grim truth: the cost of retaliation might be higher than anyone anticipated. The crew braced themselves for what would come next, knowing their fight was far from over. The Horizon had survived the gauntlet, but the war with the Zarkins was escalating rapidly. Every victory bred new challenges. As the stars outside flickered with the chaos of battle, Arya and her team steeled themselves to confront whatever came next, with courage, creativity, and the unbreakable spirit of humanity. The stars outside the Horizon's viewport shimmered coldly, but inside the ship, the atmosphere was electric, thick with anticipation and a simmering sense of dread. Captain Arya Jensen's voice was steady but firm as she addressed her crew. "We've struck their command hub, but this isn't over. The Zarkins will retaliate, and they won't hold back." Commander Malak stood beside her, eyes scanning tactical data that painted a grim picture. Their victory had fractured the enemy's communications, but it had also drawn the attention of the full Zarkin fleet, an overwhelming force now converging on their location. "Multiple warships inbound," Malak reported. "They're faster and more numerous than anything we've faced." Dr. Elin adjusted her equipment nervously. "Their tech is evolving with each encounter. They learn quickly, adapting to our moves." The crew's fingers flew over controls, preparing for a battle unlike any before. But the Horizon was more than a warship, it was a symbol of humanity's ingenuity, and its crew knew the price of failure. As the enemy fleet closed in, the Horizon executed a series of daring maneuvers through a nearby asteroid belt. The jagged rocks provided fleeting cover, but the Zarkins unleashed swarms of drone fighters, their metallic forms weaving deadly patterns. Plasma fire illuminated the void in violent bursts. Arya's commands came rapid and precise. "Target drone clusters. Focus fire on their wing formations. Prepare for boarding resistance. If they breach our hull, we cannot let them take control." Amid the chaos, Malak proposed a radical gambit. "We can't outgun them. But what if we outsmart them? I've been working on a prototype, a neural interface that syncs directly with the ship's AI, Hermes. If I pilot the Horizon through it, we could react with lightning speed, faster than any conventional controls." Arya hesitated, weighing the risk. "It's untested under combat conditions." Malak's eyes gleamed. "If not now, when?" The crew scrambled to prepare the interface. Malak connected to Hermes, the AI's voice softening as it synchronized. "Warning, neural link active. Pilot response enhanced by 87%. Cognitive load elevated." Malak's mind sharpened, sensations of the ship's systems flowing through him like never before. The Horizon darted through the asteroid maze with unnatural agility, dodging plasma blasts and retaliating with precise strikes. But the greatest threat was yet to come. The Zarkin flagship, a colossal vessel bristling with weapons and shielded by an energy barrier that shimmered like a living force field, emerged from the darkness. Its captain broadcasted a chilling message across all frequencies: "Surrender or be obliterated. Your resistance is futile." Arya's response was swift and resolute. "We fight for every star, every life you threaten. You will not break us." She ordered the crew to prepare the experimental weapon Elin had developed, a particle destabilizer designed to pierce the flagship's shields. The device was volatile, and using it could risk the Horizon's integrity, but it was their best hope. As the Horizon closed in, Malak piloted the ship with superhuman reflexes, weaving between enemy fire while Elin charged the destabilizer. The flagship's energy shield flickered under the assault, but its counterattacks intensified. Just when all seemed lost, the destabilizer fired, a concentrated beam that tore through the barrier, striking the flagship's core. A tremendous explosion rocked the flagship, its shields collapsing. The Zarkin fleet faltered, confusion spreading like wildfire. But the flagship retaliated with a last desperate salvo, targeting the Horizon's engines. The ship lurched violently, alarms blared as systems failed. Malik felt the neural link strain against the chaos but held steady, guiding the ship through the worst of the storm. "We're not out of this yet," he muttered, sweat beading on his brow. Arya coordinated damage control, rallying the crew's resilience. "Focus on emergency repairs. We fight on." In the ship's hold, Elin worked frantically to stabilize the destabilizer and shield critical systems. The odds were against them, but every member of the crew pushed beyond limits, bound by a shared purpose, to protect humanity's future. As the flagship exploded in a fiery bloom, the Zarkin forces began retreating, their morale shattered. The Horizon, battered but unbroken, limped away from the battlefield. The victory was costly, but it was a testament to the crew's courage, innovation, and unyielding spirit. In the aftermath, as stars glittered peacefully once more, Arya reflected on the battle's lessons. They had faced annihilation and emerged stronger, not just because of technology, but because of trust in each other, in their creativity, and in the unbreakable will to survive. The war was far from over, but humanity had shown it could stand against the darkness and fight for the light. The Horizon drifted through the remnants of the shattered star system, its hull scarred but its spirit unbroken. Captain Arya Jensen stood on the bridge, gazing at the glowing debris that once housed the Zarkin command hub. The victory had come at a steep price, planets reduced to rubble, innocent lives caught in the crossfire. The crew's faces reflected the weight of their actions, but beneath it all was a resilient hope that humanity's future had been secured. Arya's voice broke the heavy silence. "We came to punish, but we must also protect. Our strength isn't just in our weapons, it's in our ability to learn, adapt, and find solutions beyond destruction." Commander Malik nodded, his mind already racing through new strategies. "We've seen how quickly the enemy evolves. Our best chance is to innovate faster than they do, to outthink war itself." Dr. Elin added softly, "And to remember that every life matters, whether human or alien. Our fight is for survival, not senseless annihilation." The crew gathered, their shared purpose renewed. They had faced overwhelming odds, pushed the boundaries of technology and courage, and emerged as more than soldiers, they were guardians of a fragile peace. In the weeks that followed, the Horizon became a beacon of hope and ingenuity. Using the captured data from the Zarkin systems, Elin and her team developed new defenses that protected entire colonies without firing a shot. Malik's neural interface technology was refined and shared across the fleet, making human pilots faster and more connected than ever before. And Arya led diplomatic missions to allies across the stars, building coalitions that embraced unity over division. Yet, the scars of war remained a reminder. The erased star system was a silent testament to the cost of vengeance and the importance of foresight. Arya often found herself contemplating the paradox of power, the very force that could destroy also held the key to creation and peace. One evening, as the Horizon sailed through the twilight of a distant nebula, Hermes, the AI, broke the quiet with a rare note of optimism. "Captain, the probability of long-term peace has increased by 43% since our last data update." Arya smiled, a flicker of warmth breaking through. "Not bad, Hermes. But peace isn't a number, it's a choice. And we choose it every day." The crew gathered for a rare moment of celebration. Laughter echoed through the corridors, mingling with stories of narrow escapes and unexpected triumphs. Arya raised a glass, her voice steady and proud. "To humanity, the fighters, the dreamers, and the ones who refuse to give up. We faced darkness, and we chose to shine." As stars sparkled beyond the viewport, the Horizon charted a new course, one defined not by revenge or fear, but by resilience, hope, and the unyielding spirit to build a future where humanity could thrive among the stars. The war had changed them all, but it had also forged something stronger, a legacy of courage, creativity, and the belief that even in the vast expanse of space, humanity's light would never be extinguished.